I'm going to be talking about two experiences. The first one is during the main adoration, the enlargement of the heart. So during this session, for some reason, even though the adoration is happening, I just couldn't get myself to believe that God would really enlarge my heart. I didn't have the faith at that time to, I just didn't think God would do it for me. I don't know why, but I couldn't get myself to believe that God would do it for me. So I was sitting there, and then Dawn was telling all of us to give our heart to Jesus. But then I didn't want to hold back because I didn't want to hold back. So then I raised my hand up, and I was like, Jesus, take my heart. So I'm going to show you all my position right now. So I lifted my hands up like this, and I was like, Lord, take my heart. Do what you want with it. And so as I'm doing that, I felt an extreme force of wind or some sort of extreme force which moved my hand like this. And it just kept moving, and I knew that I wasn't doing it because there was so much force I couldn't push it back, it was just moved, my hand was just moving behind. And it came to a point where my hand ended up being like this, behind my body. And not completely, but so it just went behind like that. And I was blown. I was like, wow. Because at that point I realized that God was actually taking my heart and enlarging it. And there was a certain sense of peace that I was assured of at that point. And that's what happened during the enlargement of the heart. And during that adoration, like right before I went for the retreat, and like a few weeks probably before I went for the retreat, I was pitying myself a lot because of all the struggles and all the tiny struggles and just day-to-day activities, because I couldn't find any point in what I was doing. I couldn't find any reason for why I should do certain things. Like, I couldn't find a lot of reasons for why exactly I'm existing in this world. And during that adoration, God reminded me of the verse that He gave for me during this year. And this is what the verse says. But I do not count my life of any value to myself, if only I may finish my course and the ministry that I received from the Lord Jesus, to testify to the good news of God's grace. And I don't know how, but this answered everything. I found a reason for why I'm living, why I'm existing. And because of all the struggles that I was talking about, the next day, I was still like thinking about the struggles, even though I got an answer for why I'm living. Next day, Dawn gave a talk on the death of Jesus on the cross. And I can't explain it in words, but that talk blew me, because I was just like, wow, someone had to come down and die for my sins, and that kind of struggle is nothing compared to what I'm doing. And he was talking about the persecutions that happened, and I'm just like, all my struggles just seemed so small, because if someone had to die for me, why wouldn't he help me in tiny moments like this? So praise the Lord.